And as a quick reminder, this video contains spoilers, so you have been warned. The movie starts with a montage introducing us to a group of friends who share a tight bond. They're all about their daily hustle as they anxiously wait to call it a day so they can go party. Eric sneaks out of a work meeting before it's concluded. Allison, Laura, and Adam pick up Sue from her workplace. Eric is hosting a party dubbed White Trash Bash. All guests are dressed in their costumes as the alcohol flows while playing outrageous games. Police officers stop by the party for a third time to shut the party down because of a noise complaint. Eric invites them to join in and apologizes for mistaking them for strippers. The cops are unconvinced by Eric's downplaying of the situation. He promises to announce the shutting down of the party on the microphone. Eric ends up doing the opposite and joins the karaoke band instead. Glenn and Kate are now parents with a bouncing baby girl. They decide to bring their baby along to the party since the babysitter has bailed on them. Glenn is set to marry Kate. Laura, Kelly, and Allison are interested in Kate's big plans for her bachelorette party. Kate wants a night in at her parents' house, immediately canceling plans for some debauchery. Adam is addicted to his work and always has his phone with him. Eric decides to hide his phone down his pants to get Adam to let loose. Eric is having the time of his life when he meets a lovely lady called Kelly. The banter between them is unmatched, and Eric invites her to a Labor Day party called the Winter Wonderland Party. Willow and Doug are late to the party from a studio session, and they have no costumes or donuts as expected. The aftermath of the party is evident the next morning. There's trash all over, and a cow grazing in the backyard. Eric is surprised to see his father, who is carrying things from the house. He meets his father's new girlfriend under odd circumstances. Eric is shocked to learn that his father is from a meeting with the brokers because he's selling the house. Eric tries to talk him out of selling the house, but his father is hell-bent on letting the house go. Eric shares the news with his friends, who are just as disappointed about the change to come. Eric and his friends head to his father's house for one last time before it is sold off. Eric runs into the realtor assigned with the sale of the house, and he's not too pleased. Eric and Mike decide to take a stroll through the town as they brainstorm on how they can celebrate their final fiesta. Eric has an epiphany and suggests that they should all have an orgy. The rest are surprised and against it, but Eric believes it's their chance to make history. Sue is the only one who supports the idea. Sue and Eric were high school sweethearts, and Allison and Laura believe that she supports the idea so she can sleep with Eric. Laura is shy about showing her body, but Sue encourages her that this is her chance to show the results of her workout. Glenn and Kate are still unaware of the big plan. Duke, who is struggling to get his music career off the ground, feels that his friends are unsupportive. Eric uses the opportunity to convince him to take part in the orgy so he can embody the true rock star lifestyle. As the rest enjoy an evening of drinking and games, Allison tries to get it on with her aloof boyfriend, Marcus. The heat is building up, but Marcus stops halfway when he realizes that Allison has shaved her cookie. They get into a heated argument, and Marcus threatens to leave abruptly. Allison is heartbroken and locks herself in the bathroom. She's startled to find Adam sitting by the toilet reading a newspaper. With only 4 weeks to the Labor Day weekend, the squad tries to make the most of their summer holiday. They're out at the beach as Eric and Sue try to figure out the theme for their orgy celebration. Mike, who is always on the prowl, spots Kelly getting out of the water. Eric recognizes her as the realtor, and Mike encourages him to make a move. After all, keep the enemy closer. Eric chats with Kelly, unaware that she is the bean dip girl from his White Trash Bash. It's only after she reminds him that he notices her. Eric asks her out to dinner. It's 3 weeks until the big sale of the house. The squad is immersed in Kate and Glenn's wedding. As the ladies sip champagne and get ready, the gents wait for Adam to arrive. Glenn is frustrated that his groomsmen have decided to go with another dress code. Glenn is still unaware of the orgy, and Mike nearly lets the cat out of the bag, but Adam stops him. Adam finally arrives and is hammered. Eric is surprised that Adam is not his usual uptight self. It turns out that Adam has been fired from his job after fumbling a $2 billion deal, courtesy of Eric keeping his phone. Adam loudly professes that he will take part in the orgy, to Glenn's surprise. Glenn is disappointed that the idea has come too late. During the wedding reception, Allison makes a grand announcement and agrees to participate in the orgy. Meanwhile, Kate and Glenn are infuriated that they have been left out of the group plan despite being parents and newlyweds. Eric meets Kelly for a date and the banter between them is unmatched. Unknown to her, the next big party is an orgy between Eric and his friends. Eric and Mike later visit a warehouse that has a dedicated horizontal tango room. They're shocked and fascinated by the live, kinky action. Eric and Mike finally have a sit-down with Mike's uncle to get some advice on how to make the orgy successful. As the leader of the pack, Eric is encouraged to take control of the party. He can neither force it nor fake it. Things between Kelly and Eric are blossoming, and they're now an item. Kelly suggests that her friends and Eric's friends meet for Labor Day. Eric is thrown off guard. He agrees to the idea but does not confirm that it will happen since he has the orgy planned out. Eric confides in Mike about his date with Kelly. Eric is conflicted since he has finally met a lady he can commit to, but he has an orgy to take part in. He considers telling her the truth, but Mike advises him against it. Okay guys, quick pause to remind you to comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. On with the recap. With 1 week to the orgy, the lads visit the doctors to make sure that they're safe, and the squad exercises together. They even do some video research and watch videos on how to have a successful orgy. Adam is working on a fun playlist for their big evening. Sue still has feelings for Eric. She buys him a book that is a Kama Sutra guide and tries to entice him over drinks at the bar. Kate and Glenn pass by the bar to tell the rest that they want to take part in the orgy. However, the rest of the squad is still against the married couple taking part. Coincidentally, Kelly happens to be at the same bar with her friends. She approaches the table and is happy to meet everyone. Sue is suspicious about how she knows each of them despite never seeing her around. Eric quickly saves face and takes Kelly to the bar for a drink. Kelly shares the good news that she has bought Eric time to be able to enjoy the house for the rest of the summer. She looks across the table and wonders why Eric's friends are parading adult toys, but Eric manages to distract her. The D-Day arrives and the squad sets up the house to create a nice mood. The air is tense and no one is courageous enough to initiate the action. Meanwhile, Kate and Glenn pull up on the driveway dressed in their costumes so they can take part. Inside the house, everyone is overthinking the next move. They keep talking about what to do, but they fail to get the ship sailing. Willow takes matters into her own hands and takes her top off to get everyone going. Her gesture makes Duke think twice and pull out of the orgy. Duke is determined to make his relationship with Willow work, and he believes the orgy will ruin it. As usual, Allison senses the tension in the room and turns into therapy mode. This frustrates Eric, who tells her to give it a rest for once. He ends up blurting out that Allison and her ex-boyfriend have an on and off relationship. It turns out Eric and Allison have also hooked up in the past, a fact that gets Sue upset. Sue confronts Allison, and Allison ends up revealing that Sue still has feelings for Eric. Mike tries to ease the tension and get the plan of the night going, but Duke shuts him down and accuses him of being Eric's pet. Eric decides to call a timeout and leaves the house for a breather. Eric leaves in a hurry to see Kelly. He's ready to confess his feelings, but Kelly has another man with her on a date. Eric is disappointed and goes back to the house. He apologizes to everyone, and they all have a heart-to-heart moment. As they enjoy a group hug, Allison locks lips with Mike, and this gives the rest the courage to hook up. They all let loose as the drinks flow. Everyone in the group takes a turn to experience each other, including some girl-on-girl action. They enjoy watching each other while still drowning in drinks. Mike decides to make orgy t-shirts to commemorate their big night. Mike is determined to relive the events of the previous night, but they remind him to give it a rest. Duke finally releases his music and shares the great news with everybody. Marcus calls Allison to patch things up, and they agree to go for couples therapy. Kelly calls Eric and asks to meet him. They agree to forget about the events of the previous night and get back together. Kelly shares the good news that a potential buyer has pulled out of the deal. Eric is ecstatic about still keeping the house and being able to throw his outrageous parties. Would you follow in Eric's footsteps and have a salad toss party? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next recap. Until next time.